The other day we talked about basic skills that you would need to develop for each wheelchair, either manual or power. Today we're going to do it a little bit different. Today we're going to talk about, in terms of importance, what skills do you really need to hone into to handle that manual wheelchair or power wheelchair? Which skills are the most important ones to work on? So, my name is Lisa. Welcome. This is our Friday detailed master class. So, I hope you enjoy it and see you next Friday. So, of all these skills that we throw at you, you might feel a little scattered. So, let's zero into the ones that are really important for you to practice over and over and over to make sure that you have it down. Um, you know, and I wanted to build on the previous video, so I will post that one here as soon as I can, because I don't think it's published yet. So, um, so we're going to talk about in terms of level of importance. Let's start with the manual wheelchair. Top skills to practice. Top skills that you really need to write down and practice every day a little bit, 10, 15 minutes of one of these skills. And it's in terms of importance, first from last. So the one is pushing efficiency, which is really important. And we talked about, having that circular movement that's really important because to save your shoulders, to protect your muscles, and for you to get to from point A to point B faster, basically. So braking and stopping, and that's with your hands that I'm talking about. Not so much the brakes, but with your hands to slow down and to brake, to stop, when you need to. So braking and stopping. And for manual wheelchairs, it's helpful to use the gloves that I've shown before. Turning and navigating tight spaces. You don't know what kind of space you're going to end up in. So, depending on your house, I have a bug here. It's competing for attention. So, turning and navigating in tight spaces, you don't know what space you're going to end up in. And, chairs, tables, bookstores, libraries, all stores. So, navigating in tight spaces, being able to back out or to be able to pivot around and to get out of a tight space. Now, for manual wheelchairs, wheelies are really important at the basic level because you might need to get over an obstacle, and there are tons of obstacles out there to choose from, either cracks or getting off a sidewalk, getting onto a sidewalk, all kinds of obstacles. So wheelies are really important, and that's in 1, 2, 3, 4th place. So practice the ones above it, first, and then practice the wheelies, because you really got to get a sense of your wheelchair and the space in your wheelchair before you start, testing your balance in the wheelchair. Transfers. Transfers are really important. So why? Because you're going to have to transfer to a table. At the medical office, you're going to have to transfer to a chair, or transfer to your bed, or to a recliner. All these things to get out of your chair, because sitting as many hours as you will be is really hard on your back, on your butt, and your circulation. So really important to change your seating position and where you are. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 basic skills that are really important, and pushing efficiency is primary. So let's go to, and any questions about that, let me know. We're going to go on to power wheelchairs. Number one skill for the power wheelchair, and that's very true, is the joystick control. Going forward and backward and diagonal, smooth, precise movements. Start slow and build. So start slow and build. So really important to get to know your joystick. Turning radius awareness. So how are you turning? Are you turning too fast, too slow? Turning radius. So turning around and being able to go in a different direction is really important to practice. So once you can go forward at a decent speed, then you want to turn and see how that feels. Number 3, curb cuts and ramps. So you can't do wheelies in power wheelchairs. So you have to always be aware of where the curb cuts are and ramps. So that's really important. So really get to know the curb cuts in your neighborhood, on your street, and ramps, practice ramps going in and out of vans, buses, so you feel comfortable doing it. And know what degrees your power wheelchair can handle and what degrees it can't handle, because there is a limit. Battery management, of course, that's important, because otherwise, if you don't manage your battery, you're not going to go anywhere. So if you don't recharge your battery in a pattern, in a consistent way, your wheelchair is gonna putter out, and then you're not gonna go anywhere. Never let it dip too low. Plan your trips. How far? How far can your wheelchair go? How far can your wheelchair not go? Right now, I have some gel batteries, and they gave me some that are not too great, so I can't go too far. I can go and come back, but man, my batteries are gone by the time, and that's just 2 miles. So not very good. Transfers and positioning. So learning how to set brakes, adjust seating, and transferring. So transferring is important, just like it is in manual wheelchairs. And positioning, changing your position, letting your lower end have good circulation, changing over to a recliner, to your bed for a while, really important to shift in your power wheelchair off and on. So that's really, really important, so you don't end up with what? With sores that are really hard to heal. So that is important. So learning how to set brakes, adjust seating, and transfer safely. Not to hurl yourself like Tarzan, but to do it safely. All right, what are some shared skills, important skills for both types of wheelchairs? Because some people have both chairs. They have a manual and they have a power. So navigating different terrains is the same for both. Advocacy, speaking up for your needs, and maintenance. Both require maintenance. The power wheelchair, I want to say, requires less maintenance. The manual wheelchair requires more maintenance, because you have to keep the casters healthy and your back wheels healthy, and make sure they don't get full of dirt, dust, hair, and get tangled up and slow you down. So those are 3 that you would have in common with both types of wheelchairs. These skills keep you safe and confident wherever you roll, for sure. So, warriors, what do you think? Whether you're pushing yourself forward or driving with a power wheelchair, these skills are foundational for independence and really important for you to practice. I can't stress that enough. Practice them, own them, and you'll be rolling in a safe manner. And you'll be showing off and impressing others. I will number these so that you see the importance of them, from 1 to 5 or whatever they are. So you know what you need to practice first, second, third, and take your time with each skill. They're all important, but, they go at a certain level, of importance. So I wanted to put that out there. So you say, okay, I have all these skills that I need to learn. I'm overwhelmed. This is the order in which you should hammer them out. All right, folks, if this video was helpful to you, give us a like. And if you'd like more videos, feel free to subscribe. And I'd love to see you back here. And feel free to see the next video, which also talks about skills and strengths of wheelchair users. And guess what? You'll have to see me on the next one.